Hey Kipsters, this is the part 2 of solving equations. I'm going to show you how we should be doing it, and also I'm going to show you how maybe an 8th grader or someone who's in algebra actually solves equations alongside of it. You'll have 2 example problems, and then I will give you 4 practice problems all by yourself. It might be wise of you to take notes on this so that you can have those available to you when you start practicing on your own. Alright, so the goal is that I want all the x's on one side and I want all the numbers on the other side. And the way I choose that is I figure out which side has the most x's on it. And so I notice that the left side has more x's on it, so I'm going to delegate this as the x side, and I'm going to call this the number side. Because this is the x side, the left side is the x side, I need to get rid of this. And on this right side, I need to get rid of all the x's because it's only a number side. So let's do that. I'm going to start with the x. How do you get rid of an x? Well, you have to add the opposite. So I add an opposite, which is a negative x. To be fair, I have to do whatever I do to one side, I have to do it to the other side. So I'm adding a negative x over here. Now, what that means is that these cancel out, and these two cancel out because they're opposites. Sometimes they're not opposites, and sometimes you don't have to cancel them out. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add negatives to meet this goal. So I'm going to add negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. Because I added, what is that, negative 10, I'm going to add negative 10 over here. So negative 1, 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 and negative 1. Okay? So what that means is all of these are canceled out. And then on the other side, I know that this positive 1 and this negative 1 cancel each other out. And then this positive 1 and negative 1 cancel each other out. Okay. So currently I have 2 x's on the left side, and I have 8 negatives on the right side. What I need to do now is I need to separate the x's into groups. And because there's 2 x's, I need to separate into 2 groups. So I need to separate these into 2 equal groups, meaning every group has 4 negatives in them. And so I would say that that is my answer. Now, how an algebra student solves this is without a lot of pictures. So they still identify, this is the same equation. They say, this has more x's, the left side has more x's, so this is the x side, and this is the number side. So they isolate the variable. So they get rid of all the 10. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So I'm left with 3 x's over here. This cancels out. I'm left with an x. And then 2 positives with 10 negatives is just a negative 8. Then they have to get rid of the x on this side, so they add a negative x. And so 3 x's with a negative x is a positive 2x. The x cancels out with the negative x, and you're left with negative 8. I need to split this into 2 groups. So x is equal to negative 8 divided into 2 groups, which is negative 4. Okay. Let's do one more example, then you guys have some practice on your own. All right. So which side should I start with? Which side should be the x side, the left side or the right side? Right? It should be the left. And the reason why is because it has more x's. Sorry, the left side should be where the x's are because it has more x's. So I need to get rid of this because this is not an x, and I should get rid of this because it's not a number. Alright? Let's start with the right side. Let's get rid of those x's. What do I need to add in order to get rid of those 2 x's? You have to add 2 negative x's. Alright? To be fair, what do we need to do? I need to add 2 x's on this side that are negative. Alright, let's cancel. So those are canceled. 2 positives and 2 negatives. And I know that 2 negatives cancel out 2 positives over here. Alright? Let's do our next one. How do I get rid of the negative ones? So I had positive ones. So positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, positive 1. Alright? Since I added 7 positive ones on that side, I have to add positive ones on this side. Okay. Now these all cancel out. And I really can't cancel out positives with positives. They just add more. So what I need to do is go on to my second goal, which is to figure out if I separate the x's into 3 different groups, how much would be in each group. Well, I currently have 9 positives, so I guess there'll be 3 in every group. So 1x is equal to positive 3. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the algebra way. 7 minus 2x and minus 2x, which is 3x minus 7 is equal to 2. I'm going to add 7 to this side. I'm going to add 7 to this side, so that's 3x is equal to 9. Divide it into 3 groups, divide it into 3 groups, and so x is now equal to positive 3. Alright, so there's 2 methods of solving this. Alright, you guys try on your own. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Remember, if you need some help, please call me. Have a good night. Bye, Kipsters.